November, and then we are looking at yeah, they also have to go to experience by Kentico X by K. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good time for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Great.
And then on our end, we are also then ramping up our approach, how we move from Umbraco 13 again, which is coming to end of life at the end of this year, to how to move to Umbraco 17. It is
Yes.
a little bit of a jump, but a good jump, because after that, ideally we won't be jumping that high or that far anymore.
Mm.
So it's going
It's
to
a
be a
nice
nice
move.
stable.
Yeah, it's a nice move to get rid of from Angular to TypeScript with especially to 17. So we have a ground ready. Now we just have to fly from 17. It's like that.
Exactly, and that's what we need to give. And uh, sort of the thing which customers keep asking us is why move from 13 to 17, right? And then the answer is uh, with 17, especially you've got Umbraco AI, and that's a big feature if you want to use it, right? If you don't want, that's fine, right? You don't have to, right? It's not we're not
Correct. Yep.
plugging it and saying you have to use it, but you
Yep.
got the opportunity to use it if needed, and that's where I guess the nice thing of comparing to either Sitecore or Kentico. That's a nice space to be in, and to be able to choose whether you even want to use it, and then after you say yes, I want to use AI, you get to choose which model you want to use, how you're using your tokens and whatnot and everything, and then go with the corporate policy.
Right. Right. So I think, yeah, it seems like the people's joined. I think we will hand over to Asha, I guess. So welcome, Asha, once again as part of UUGI. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
we are keen to hear you about your experience from Sitecore to Umbraco migration. So over to you, Asha.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining this. Good evening, everybody. Um, I think I was working with a Sitecore since few week, and I feel like I have a story to tell. So I've decided to share this with the community, what I felt and what my thought on this, and why I like Umbraco more. I wanted to like the Sitecore as well, because I get a chance to work with the Sitecore. But I found a little bit of things which I wanted to express with the community, and it's like if everyone can see it, probably that would be good. They can pitch to customer why we should migrate from Sitecore to Umbraco, or why the Umbraco is becoming a stronger these days, and that's a story I have to tell. So yes, welcome to the meetup. One more meetup with the UUGI. Thank you everyone for being a part of this group, and we are always keen to share a recent as like updates and what market is, what is happening in the market, and everything. And thank you for joining today as well. Our today's topic is a Sitecore to Umbraco migration. I will going to tell my story, and what I can, I can help with the few of the things. I can share few of the ideas how can migrate from the Sitecore to Umbraco, and what can be the strategy. So here is the introduction part that we used to do from myself. I am Asha. I'm certified Umbraco master. I'm working as a solution architect as well, working with Umbraco since version 6, and I have a 10 plus years of experience to working with Umbraco. So yeah, that was me. And Nikhil?
Oh, yeah, for me, like, yeah, I'm also working with Umbraco since 12 years and MVP 2 times. I missed to edit in Slide, and yeah, it's kind of a web developer with Umbraco. It's a simple one.
Perfect. And I hope you started a recording to post for YouTube
Yes, yep.
later on. Thank you. Okay, so today we have a simple agenda. It's nothing much. Why I feel is like we should migrate from Sitecore to Umbraco. That's something we're going to discuss. What I felt during doing some analysis on a Sitecore part, and I'll going to share that. Platform comparison. I would like to do some platform comparison between the Sitecore and Umbraco. Why I feel Umbraco is better. Because I am steadily like a development side more, so I have a few things to tell in perspective of a development wise. You can also, see the costing wise as well, but there will be little more about the development wise because I love to do a development therefore. The next thing about the benefits, what the benefit will going to get in Umbraco, we all know, but in comparison to Sitecore, what we will get. There will be some migration strategy and approach. I'll going to share what we can do while we do a migration from Sitecore to Umbraco. Is like if someone tell you is like we wish to migrate our site from Sitecore to Umbraco, then the first thing will come in our mind, what will be going to happen with the content. It's like we have a lot of content in a Sitecore and how we will going to migrate that in Umbraco. So that's something we can, I've seen some of the steps as like analyze few of the things which I would like to share. Um, the risk and mitigation during this migration, that's something we should take care. So we're going to discuss then that part as well. Great then. Let me jump on our first topic, which is why migrate from Sitecore to Umbraco. We all know that it's the total cost and the ownership. We know that it has license. Sitecore has a very expensive license in comparison to Umbraco. Umbraco is like the core part is very free. So that was the first thing. High license cost, expensive infrastructure required. I also noticed a few things like with one of the Sitecore site has like a four site. It's like a multi-site structure which has a four. While I wish to create some content pages because I was doing the analysis part to migration and I wish to create a content into it and it was a super slow. It's like a lot of places as like that's also a part of it, the content editing experience. It was not straightforward just like Umbraco, but it was a little complex. I would say not a little, it was a higher complex. That's something I faced. It has a lot of things like go create in a template. If it's exist, choose from there. Otherwise create, it will going to the folder. We also don't know in which folder it will going to there. So it's a little bit of complex things, not just the content migration, but with the front end integration part as well. Then costly skilled resources is like it's not just straightforward, just like Umbraco. It has so many things. The workflow to create one component is little tricky. Therefore, it's like a costly skilled resources required to create an the Sitecore site. Otherwise, within a Umbraco, inside Umbraco, if we need to create a simple marketing site, it doesn't require more more training for a developer. It's like 1 week and they will going to learn Umbraco, and that's the best part of Umbraco. We can learn the Umbraco very quickly. The complex upgrade and maintenance, I must say it will going to be complex in upgrade because whenever we see the one component we have in a site core and we need to create at a lot of places, just like go to the template for us. Templates is just equal to the document type. We need to create inside a template, then it's a data we need to create in a data, and then we create the actual page. We when we create actual page, we need to choose from the existing or create a new, and therefore that was a little complex, I would say. When I was seeing to create a content on a site core, it took me 2 days to figure it out how to create a content on the site. And I think therefore I say is like it's not pretty friendly for the content editors. It's a little complex and tricky as well. That's what I found. So if it's in perspective of the content editor, if it's tricky, then it has a lot of content in a lot of the places where we need to create a content. It's creating a duplication of the content. We need it on a one place. Still, it's creating a lot content at a lot of places, and that used to be in a tree structure. And if it's used to be in tree structure, then we can see it's like a lot of rows in a data table. Okay, I'm sounding a little bit of a developer, but a developer can realize how much complex it will be if we have a lot of row for a one content in a one table. So it will have a lot of records in a table. So therefore it's complex to upgrade. It can take a more time. It can be anything. It's a lot of the maintenance required for the Sitecore as well. Heavy dependency and proprietary modules as well. It's like it has flexibility, but it's like it has a little flexibility in compared to Umbraco. When we used to say about the Umbraco grid, grid is like a fully flexible. Sitecore is also a flexible module, but still I found the grid has a lot of flexibility in terms when we compare to with the Sitecore. Sitecore has a one good thing is about the front end, what you see, what you do editor, as like we can create a structure on a front end side still, but we can create on the front end side, but when we go into back office and see the content structure, it's a little tricky, and it's very hard to identify where this data is standing and where this data is sitting in which folder. It's like very difficult. Okay, and vendor lock-in, because it's not a open source Sitecore, so we don't have that source code and everything available. Just like Umbraco has all the source code available on, because it's a fully open source, all the source code available in GitHub. But that's not with the Sitecore. If we need to change something, then probably we had to go with the support or something, and they can only do few of the things. So therefore, I found a limited things around the Sitecore. Still, it's winning in a lot of category, but I found the one major thing about the Sitecore is it is not developer friendly and not the content editor friendly. And I think the best definition about the CMS, that should be a content editor friendly at least. And I think slower innovation and release cycle. I know that it's also, adapting the technology. Sitecore is also used to adapting the technologies, but as as just discussed before at the initial of this meetup, I think the Sitecore is, forcing. We can say the forcing to go with the cloud or something. So that is the thing. It should be friendly. It should be cost cutting, not the like expensive. So that's what I realized. And the release cycle, because it's required a lot of things to implement with the one component. I don't think so it will be easy to create, and the release cycle will be not just like the Umbraco, because Umbraco is a little fast to develop the things. If we wish to create one component or one page, it can be done within a 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, but I don't think so that can be done with the Sitecore by seeing the complex structures. So that was my perspective with the Sitecore, why we should migrate from the Sitecore to Umbraco, and few of the pain points. That's something I would like to share with the Sitecore. So cost and licensing, as we discussed, and you can see the back office with the Sitecore, I found is not as much as friendly, just like Umbraco. I will definitely have some favor about Umbraco, but still, if you are not using Umbraco, still, if someone is not using Umbraco and is seeing the Sitecore and he's seeing the Umbraco, he wished to go ahead with the Umbraco definitely, because it has a very great friendly back office structure where anything can be accessible so easily, and that's not with the Sitecore. I found it's little complex. So that's a platform context. complexity, upgrade challenges, as we discussed. It can be have like operational overheads because we need like a skilled developers to work with this Sitecore and the content authoring experience. That is the main pain point that I realized in last few week. And I think to create a content with this Sitecore is like, if you are a developer, then only you can create the content, right? But if you are not developer and you are a very new, it's like you are just author who is just writing his blog. I don't think so he will be able to figure it out to create the content from the back office directly. He had to go to the front end editor. He has to go on the page and has to pick up the component to create the content. But still, if he come back on the back office, I don't think so he will be knowing that where my content is sitting and where I need to change or something. So if the Sitecore hasn't this front end editor, then it's very complex. Then only developer can create the content, not the content authors. And to move from this pain points, we have Umbraco, which offer this all the things in a friendly manners. It is open source and transparent. It's like it has a very friendly community, and the Umbraco itself. It's like if I know that I need something in Umbraco back office that can be useful for the whole community, then the person can develop and raise the PR, and that can be reviewed and merged, and later on we can get that thing in Umbraco back office. So that's the power of open source. And it's there, whatever happening, whatever the code has been done, whatever the mechanism has been developed for the Umbraco CMS, that's there and transparent. The second one is a developer editor and developers and editor friendly experience. So as I said, Sitecore is not friendly. It's like for the developer as well, but the Umbraco is a very friendly. It's like anyone can come on the site. If one developer has developed the site and the editor is coming and he knows that I need to create the component by picking up this component like this, they can easily create their content. They can easily create their pages. And most thing is like we can directly create the content by having the templates. I think I forget about the name. Is the content templates. They they wish to create the blog repeatedly on the site as like a four. If someone is there, someone's site is very big, and they are creating a 4 blogs in a day, they can easily create by having the content templates. They just need to create the content templates. They can copy paste the blog and just add or edit the content, and it will be easy for them. So it's like a very faster to create the contents. Cost friendly, as we know, is like Umbraco core is totally free. What we are using on top of that, or the products commerce or something, that will be the Umbraco products, and that can be with the cost, but the core is a totally free. The modern feature also has been developed. I think the way the compose has been developed with the Umbraco, it's like game changing. The AI support is like nowadays Umbraco is heavily focusing on the AI, and they have created a very good package and with the AI, which is absolutely game changing. And also the people who are supporting the community, the developers are also creating the package for the AI. I've seen recently one package for the AI where we just need to add a blogs. I wish to add one blog on my site, that's a one little window on the right side in the Umbraco back office is opening, and I just need to give the prompt, and all the blogs will be going to add in the site, and that will publish automatically if we need to. So that's a game changing. It's like it will going to take a lesser time for the content editors as well than the previous one. So the AI adoption, which has been done with the Umbraco, that's good and graceful. With the search implementation also, it's not just like the examine search that was inbuilt. Umbraco's examine search is not up to that. They adopted a lot as like Algolia search. This is Umbraco's inbuilt Algolia feature they have introduced with the AI search. So more or less, there are a lot of, but I'm not remembering the name at this moment, but there are a lot. search mechanism which has been used at this moment in Umbraco. So, so and the other things is about the Umbraco products. There are a lot of Umbraco products which are the cloud, commerce, it's inbuilt commerce product. The hardcore is like we have the headless structure as well, with the site core. If we need like a headless structure or something, that should be some custom things which we need to develop. But the Umbraco is giving inbuilt. It's like a content delivery API. With that, we can create the mobile applications or the other front end technology. We can develop the things. The and in similar way, it's providing the hardcore as well. So Umbraco is one of the product which is a hardcore. It's a similar like a headless. The content node will be there, and we can create the content pages in other technologies or mobile application with the help of the APIs. Flexible forms, that's Umbraco. We all know that the Umbraco forms are is like no one can beat that. Umbraco form, it's providing the very flexible structure to create the forms on the websites. Engage, to have a full of the personalization on the website. We have Engage, and Engage is not like just a personalization, is a very deep topic. It's not just what we are thinking to have the content on the personalization and that's it. To set up the Engage, to having the personalization, it's doing a lot of things with the Engage package. Workflow to provide, and the UI builder, if it's like we wish to create any custom section, and we don't wish to do any code. It's like a low code thing on the UI builder. You wish to have one table which is a custom table, and you want to populate the data on the site, you can use the UI builder. So therefore uh, there are the Umbraco products which we can use, and we can make our development fast, and a lot of things like complex things we can develop with the grace. And that's the power of Umbraco products they have built so far. And the later on, it's a strong and friendly community. As I said, it's like we have a lot of things in Umbraco. Forum is going on. The community is a friendly, where you can raise your question, and within some minutes, or whenever the people are just waking up, they used to see the forum, and they always used to share their ideas. You always used to share the solutions, and we are getting a lot of solutions in forum itself. The package ecosystem, any developer can create the packages. You can see the Umbraco just adopted a AI, and a lot of AI packages are currently on a marketplace. That something can be used. Those are free, totally free. And great path. So the journey was like from the web form to MVC to .NET Core, and in the back office is Angular to TypeScript. Still, we have still there are like a lot of thing has been used with the Umbraco. Still, the upgrade path is a clean and clear. Okay, it's nothing like we need to create if we wish to migrate from Umbraco 7 to Umbraco 17. It's like a decade. Umbraco 17, we have to create a new project on the Umbraco side. No, that's not there. If we have a very clean upgrade path, we can definitely directly straight away and straightforward do the upgradation. And that's the thing. We can create the migration plans and everything to upgrade the site. So I feel that that's little easy with the Umbraco, and not sure about the Sitecore. And it's providing the headless and flexible structure, as I said. For the headless and flexible structure, we don't need to do any extra work. Content delivery API is there, and it's taking care of all the things. It's taking care of the APIs. We don't need to create the APIs. We just need to create the element type and our component, and to expose the content, it's a middleware. The content delivery API is there, and it will going to expose the content. The Umbraco is offering a lot of things, but this is the main points I figured out. So therefore, I covered in today's presentation. Now, that's a one glance for the comparison between the Sitecore and Umbraco. This is the same we discussed, but it's like in highlight points. Licensing, it's a paid per user, and the per server. This is open source, and it has an inbuilt. If it's on premises, then it's open source and zero cost. But if we go with the cloud hosting, then we have a little bit of things and a little bit of price and costing. If we wish to use the Umbraco products, just such like commerce or engage, those are the like a licensing products there where we need to pay something. But if we need to have a feature, we wish to have a features on our site, then we need to do that. So yeah, if you are using add-ons in Umbraco, then only you need to pay these things. Initial cost, it's a higher, and for the initial cost, which if we wish to just create one application or one website with the Umbraco without using any add-ons like a commerce or engage or anything, it's like we don't need to pay anything. It's like a free of the cost. Tech stack, it's .NET, that's also using .NET, but currently in the Umbraco, its latest .NET version has been used, and in the back office now it was Angular, and we jumped to the TypeScript, which is the very latest development technologies which has been adopted by Umbraco. Learning curve, it's a step, it's easy to learn. As I said, to learn with the Umbraco is like we can, one fresher will come in a market, and if he know a little bit basic things about the .NET, then he just need to train for a week, and he will be ready to create the site. But for the site core, as I said, I took like 2 days to figure it out how to create the content on the website. It's like it was not a development part, it was the content editor part. If the content editor part can take that much time, then you can it's like analyze how much time we need to just learn to Sitecore and develop the things. Editor UX, it is a powerful but the complex editor, and we have a very simple and user friendly editor. And I think to create the content powerful is like yes, that's good, but if it's not user friendly, then we can't use the powerful editors, but the simple and sober things can make things perfect. So if it's a simple and user friendly, the people can figure it out. If I need to write a blog on the site, and if it's a simple and user friendly, then I can get it done within an hour probably. But if it's like a complex, then it will take like 1 or 2 days to just write a one blog article. Upgrades, it will be a complex in a site core, and with Umbraco, it can be a smooth and straightforward based on the complication of the project. Then community is limited and it's a partner driven, but for the Umbraco, it's open source. It's open and active community where as I say, it's like whatever the things we are feeling at this moment, something is not working and I need some ideas. So just go ahead, put your question on community, put your question in a forum, Discord. There are a lot of things, and you will get a lot of idea from everyone. It's not like a limited. These all are the raw ideas from the developers. Headless, it can be a separate setup in a Sitecore, but as I said, for the Umbraco itself has a hardcore product where we can use, we can build headless systems. And also with the on-premises, we have this content delivery API which support to have this headless architecture. Time to market, probably it will be slower, as I said, and Umbraco has a faster delivery because it not required that much effort to create things, simple things. Okay, then key benefits of migrating to Umbraco. As we are already saying, cost saving, faster development, um, better editor experience. I think I told my story is like why I choose to present this topic today is just because I found it has a very complex editor experience as well as the developer experience as well with the Sitecore. In Umbraco, it will reduce complexity and future ready. We have a headless API support, AI adoption is very well. Solid search, it has been providing, work with the React, Next.js and Vue as like it's providing the content delivery API. So it will work with this, all the technologies, front-end technologies as well. Then it's providing the cloud. It has a product cloud where we can host our sites, and it's not like we are pushing all our code into the cloud and will not have a backup. It has a one more thing on behind of it, which is a custom CI/CD implementation. It's like we can keep our code in any DevOps or anywhere in a Bitbucket or anywhere you wish to put, and our regular code reviews and everything can be done just like the other system, and we can set up the CI/CD system. That's also present. It's not a hard to set up the CI/CDs with the Umbraco cloud. It's also documented very well in Umbraco documentation, and you can set up easily, even though the developer can also set up the CI/CD system if they wish to have the separate or custom repository and not just relying on the cloud repository. Then faster time to market, as I said, it's like it will not going to take much time. It will not going to complex, so it will be faster to come the things on a market. The site can be ready very fast by using Umbraco. Lower maintenance of efforts. If someone knows a little bit of Umbraco, they can also maintain their sites easily. And no vendor lock-in. It's like it's open source platform and full control on code, so they can do whatever they wish to do. Okay, so now it was all about why we should choose Umbraco. Okay, that was what I felt. That's something I shared. But I would like to share, if someone is like happy, if someone convinced with this, yes, we should go with the Sitecore to Umbraco, then what will be the migration strategy? That will be the next question. So uh, first of all, we need to discover how many things we have in a Sitecore in terms of like how many element types, how many components are there, how many settings are there. And if you noticed in a Sitecore, it has like two things. Uh, one is element type is like a components properties and everything, and second one is like a rendering parameters, and those rendering parameters will be exactly same like our setting models. So we need to discover the things what we currently have in Sitecore, and based on that, we need to map or like create the exact replica of the element types in our Umbraco. So audit the templates. Templates is meaning templates is equal to document type for us, as like document type or element type, whatever we wish to tell. What the code has been developed, what the integration is, like any third party integration has been happened on the site, that's something we need to discover. And mainly it's like any personalization has been happened so far, so that also we need to take care in Umbraco. Then design, how this the discover part has been done as like a 10 element type or the 10 component has been created in my Sitecore, and with the 10 rendering parameter there's been 10 setting model. Okay, now I need to create that same to the Umbraco, and that will be like mapped to document type. Templates will be mapped to document type, and the setting models needs to be created because the Sitecore has a flexible structure. So if the Sitecore has been chosen, then the block grid will be the best option in Umbraco to choose, and not the block list. Otherwise, that can be possible. That can be possible. Like we can compromise with the flexibility which has been there with the Sitecore. Then build the Sitecore system, build the Umbraco system parallel to the Sitecore, is like doing the discovery, design it, build. It will going to take some time. It won't be like a 2 or 3 days job. It will be like it's like a 2 or 3 month job based on the complexity of the project. So side by side, parallel Umbraco system needs to be built with the doing some code migration and everything. That can be little help with the code, because Sitecode is also using the Razor and the .NET, and the similar thing will going to be used in Umbraco as well. But the fundamentally it will be different. It's like Umbraco itself is using a little bit different fundamentals with the composers and everything, and Sitecore can be using something different. So those things we need to migrate and fit into Umbraco. Then the next and the major part will be the migration of the media and the content and go live. And possibly with this, it's like suggested one golden rule is like, don't stop your site code development or anything, because it will be a time taking thing. So just build this Umbraco parallelly, okay, with the live site code site, and just make sure where when your license is expiring, just make a plan according to that. And before your license expired, or before the renewal of the license, please make your site live. Okay, so the thing which is like a content migration, is like a deep content migration strategy. Also, we need to decide. We map those configuration manually. We have created the component and element type manually into the Umbraco back office. But what about the content? Because as I said, like first question will be in our mind. If we're going to migrate a site core to Umbraco, that will be a content. That's something will be like, if we'll go the manual job, then it will time taking things, the accuracy also won't be there. And at the last, where we could do a content freeze window, the manual work needs to be done, and we all know like human is equals to errors. So that can be possible, like the human can miss content to be uploaded, or that can be happen. But if we do this little bit of the automation, so at the last point, when we wish to live our make the live our website, before like a 2 or 3 days, we can do content freeze and execute our scripts or something. That the similar thing we used to do with the Umbraco version to major version migration. That the similar strategy we also need to follow in the site code as well. So first of all, what we need to do from the site code, it's a source. The very first one should be the media. We need to extract the media. It's providing two things. It's like a CSV and the JSON export with the content. That's something Sitecore used to provide. So we need to extract the media and the content from those sources, and based on those sources, we need to identify where this content will going to be fit. Okay, so that will be two perspective. Whenever we do the content migration, is like we create the exact replica of site core, the configuration part. That's what I'm saying. The configuration part, we create the exact replica of the site core into Umbraco. And I think that will be a little difficult, because a lot of things which is a site core is providing, which we really don't need to create the content. But if we're going to do the exact replica, then the content migration will be like a straightforward and one-to-one mapping and everything. Okay, but if we decide like a lot of things which are in our site core, which we don't need actually, then just create the configuration in Umbraco which exactly you need for the components. If I need a 5 components out of 10, I'm going to create only 5 components. I'm going to create a configuration for only 5 components. And now, just like a feed of the content which we used to get from the lot of system, just make that source of truth to the content, and just process the content and fit into our Umbraco system. We don't need to actually create the replication of the site core, but we can process the content and directly fit into our Umbraco structure. So these are the two parameters. That's something I gone through, and I wanted to share it with you. Then it's a transform. As I said, it's a map and the clean transfer of the content and media. It's like not so easy thing, but we can do with the scripting and writing some code by creating some console applications, like getting the media and process it and fit into the Umbraco. So yeah, just analyzes like the media and the content that has been in your Umbraco, and it's ready to use. And then you can do your code migration. Whatever the custom implementation has been done, that's something you can do in Umbraco back office with the TypeScript code. So it was like a one-to-one mapping with the site core. So same Umbraco document type. So whatever you are seeing in the templates, that will be the document types. Multilingual safe is like, that's also Sitecore also preserved the English multilingual and everything that will going to provide you the content based on that. We also need to preserve the SEO safe URL. If it's like with the content structure will going to change, if some client wish to change the content structure and they don't wish to exactly same like the site core, then we have to preserve our URLs, and we need to create a 301 redirects right from the legacy URL to the new URL redirect. And as I said, it's like a read enable script. Just to use the read enable script while doing the migration from Umbraco to Sitecore, because as I said, is will not going to follow the manual one, but to have some read enable script where after 3 or 4 months, if you are ready with your replica of the Sitecore into Umbraco, then if you are ready to launch the site in Umbraco, then we just need to rerun the script and migrate our content from Sitecore to Umbraco. So that was a content migration strategy. I think we all know, while if we are doing migration of the Umbraco, it's a pretty same as like, but it's the thing is like from one system, one CMS to another CMS, we are migrating the things. A lot of things can be legacy. A lot of things will be there, but not here. Lots of things will be here, which can be used in a new system, but won't be there. So it's up to us how the developer can design the system. Otherwise, we can see in the site code, if someone don't know the site code and creating the system is like, it's like a mess. It's fully mess. We never be able to figure it out. If we search one button, that button, if we search in a global search one button, that will be on a 10 places. And just think about that, from which 10 places, which one the right one, you won't be able to figure it out. So that's based on their understanding how they have created the Sitecore site. But we know what we need our in a new Umbraco back office. So we don't need to create the replica of Sitecore into Umbraco, but what we need in Umbraco, that's something we should create. And process the data is based on just create them some rerunning script and process the data and fit into Umbraco. That will be the best strategy which we can follow to migrate the content. Okay, while doing this migration, that can be some risk, and that will be a mitigation what we can do to prevent those, because I faced this, therefore I'm sharing here the content drift during the migration. That can be possibility, uh, to just one example. If like we have a media, and media have a alter text with the each languages, but we all know that the Umbraco hasn't that the media variants, media variants like in the cultures. We can't create the new alter text for one media file image, and we can't create the alter text for it's not a by default. We can't create the alter text for Arabic, India, or Danish or something. We have to create a separate properties for them for those all, and we need to migrate the content from one system to another system. So that's something we need to take care while doing the content migration. That can be the possibility of a drift of the content during the migration. That can be loss of content, but we need to take care. We have to be efficient. Our discovery part should be strong. If our discovery part will be strong, then there will be a no risk. But if something has been missed, then can be possibilities to miss the content as well. So we need to take care. We need to do a content phrase. We need to run a delta. We used to say this for the dry runs. That's the best word. We used to do a dry runs before doing the actual production content migration. So we have to run it's like if one time it's not success, second time, third time. So it should be have a read enable script where we can run this delta migration or dry runs. So we will have those clear picture as like what has been missed and what we need to do if something has been missed. Then the SEO ranking drop, it can be possible like of the structure and the architecture in the back office can be changed. We don't wish to do that, but if something we need to do, then the SEO ranking can be dropped. So for that, we need to always write the 301 redirect. We need to preserve the meta and the sitemap. That will be the part of the content migration as well. The SEO and all the properties, not just the page content. We also need to, migrate all the SEO, the scripts and everything, whatever we have on the Sitecore site, we need to migrate into our Umbraco as well. Then the integration gaps. So whatever the integration has been done with the CRM or anywhere, that's something we need to do in our Umbraco system as well. So these are like what we need to take care. It's like these are the risks can be happen while we do a migration from Sitecore to Umbraco. It's like when we create one system, it's not just the content pages. It can have a more functionality, and those functionality needs to be in our new CMS. So if your CRM or any integration has been done with the Sitecore, that needs to be in Umbraco as well. Otherwise, your a few of the feature or functionality will not going to work. Editor adoption resistance, that can be for the one client. We are changing the CMS. Probably they now used to with the Sitecore. We need to train them to with the Umbraco, which is a very friendly back office, where definitely they will going to like it to do some content authoring. So we need to provide a training to them. Yes, this was a Sitecore, but this is the new thing that here you can do. You can create your blocks like this. You can create your pages like this. You can do the configuration like this. So those training things we need to provide them. And the performance regression, possibly changing to the CMS platform, that can be a possibility to have some performance regression that can be a low, that can be high, who knows. But if it's like we need to test it, load testing, we need to do CDN and caching, we need to apply. So those all the things we need to apply while we do while we go live with the Umbraco system. That's the best practices of Umbraco. Whenever we implement a system, we used to take care about these things. So it's not new, but yeah, whoever is a new with creating the system, he should be taking care of these things. Okay, so I'm on a final part. What will be the key takeaways from this session? I found it's a high cost and complexity in a Sitecore, but with the to prevent or to have a good and simple cost-effective solution we have, which is Umbraco. That's something we can use. It's not the complex. It's a very user-friendly. It's a faster delivery because it doesn't require that much time to implement the things. It's a straightforward. We have a very good core available of the Umbraco core available. On basis of that, we can create a lot of things. Which has Umbraco has a editor, very good editor experience. It has a content editors like a block list and block grid. We can create our custom as well. There is no no boundary with the Umbraco, because they have migrated such a way in technologies where everything is a plug and play. We can use anything at anywhere. We can change our whole back office code. We can change anything with a better experience, easy for developers. As I said, it is like it doesn't require that much training to develop one side. They can adopt this Umbraco development and structure easily. Regular security updates that used to be provided by Umbraco whenever they are feeling like something is fishy. They used to raise the security updates, and that used to be minor upgrades very frequently. Latest and .NET modern technology has been used. Open source, no lock-in. It has a strong community, which is a very great point. It has a package marketplace, very rich marketplace where we can find a lot of packages available on the site, available on the marketplace, and that's something we can easily use on our Umbraco site. Lots of us, like a 75% packages are free of cost. That's something we can use, but few packages which has a lot of things, like for an example CRM. So CRM package has a rich functionality, so that type of the packages won't be as like a free. It will have a little bit of pricing, but yeah, like a 75 to 80% packages are totally free on the marketplace, and that helps to design and develop the one site very easily in a Umbraco. So that was me. I had one story to tell that I told and I shared with the community. And any questions related to this, that's something I can answer. I would love to answer. So yeah.
Yes, Asha, I think Emmanuel has something for you.
Yep. Yes, Manu.
Nah, just that was awesome. Thanks, Asha. I really enjoyed it. You really nailed it with everything from especially interested in the part. Yeah, it's easy to say to move from one platform to another, but you've really gone through which every item and gone through what Siteco is why it's hard, right?
Yeah.
And also with the risk mitigation strategy, which is where most of us as developers, I guess, or software engineers really struggle. So yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
this. I found it really useful, just listening to it as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining.
Just a simple question from my side. Like as always, the customer asks like how much time need for just a browser-based site from Sitecore to Umbraco. Nothing like any add-ons like commerce, just a content pages. How what we can consider it like?
See,
For
it depends. I guess Asha would have a good answer for that, and I'd like to chip in as well.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so it's basically if they don't wish to any use of any product, then it's like first of all they don't need to pay the licensing, right? So that's the main thing. That's the
right,
cutoff. And
correct.
with that, the migration, it's not that much of hard things that we need to discover the things and we need to create the replica in Umbraco,
Mm,
and it will be pretty straightforward. Yeah, but
okay,
the main part in this is like cost effective, cost cutting. You don't need to pay your license. That's the first
correct,
thing.
correct.
And you will get the free of the cost. You can create your free of the cost site in Umbraco.
Indeed, and to further on, like to manage, it's very good. But
Very.
yeah, I would say like depends on that unique templates or components, right? Based on that, the timeline would be decided.
Yep.
Maybe, yeah, good one. So yeah, I think that's good. That you migrated one of the Sitecore project to Umbraco. That's good.
Yeah. I think a client would love it because where a developer used to do some discovery part, they said, "Oh my God, this is so tricky. How they are doing this with the Sitecore? How
Exactly.
client is dealing with the Sitecore?" So I heard this multiple of times whenever we used to do the
Salute,
discovery part.
salute to that content author who love
Exactly.
to play with this. Yeah,
Mm,
Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu.
I have one question. Like, is it always manual work? Can we do anything to automate this one, or is there any package available to migrate the content,
Uh,
like content or like
no.
document types from the Psycho?
Not so far, not so far, but this is a very good idea to create one package to migrate a content from a Sitecore to Umbraco. I think not available right now, but this is very good idea to create one
Some of
package.
some of the agencies they build it, but it's not 100% proven because
100%.
yeah,
Oh, in that case,
but
like
always
yeah, how
yeah.
can we like just inside core there will be multiple revisions, like versions for the one content. Like how can we migrate all this content to the Umbraco? How we can
Yeah, so
handle
for
that
that
situation?
we need. Yeah, so basically, it was my first experience and where we created the console applications for just migrating from Sitecore Media to Umbraco Media. So that was they used to provide JSON first of all. They used to provide the media as well. We just need to fit into our Umbraco, and we have created the custom implementation for that. So that was automated, not the manual. As I said, it's like one option to go with the manual, but the second option to create a rerunnable script. So that's something we need to create. You know that Google is providing the feed and we are fitting up those things into our application. So that's the same. At this point, we have created the rerunnable script and the console applications, which are migrating the media and content as well. I hope
Okay,
that
thanks.
answered your question.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Yep.
okay, thanks.
Any
Anyone
more
else?
Umbrasian here?
I think they will have a more and more question when they will visit the site.
Exactly. That's good. So let's consider it as a silence as a no, and we can wrap up this meetup.
So the last slide, which is my favorite. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, it was a pleasure once again to host all of you, and stay tuned for the next meetup with something special.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
Thanks,
then.
thanks, Asha.
Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Emmanuel.
Nikhil, for organizing. Catch you next time.
Yeah, see you at
Thanks.
Good
Bye.
Garden.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.